In this next problem, let's first get the y squared by itself on the left by dividing off 3 and have y squared equals 4x, which I'm going to write this one time as y minus 0 squared is 4 times x minus 0. I see that y is squared. That tells me this is not a function. I also notice that 4 is positive. So I have a choice between this opening left and right. Since 4 is positive, it's going to open to the right. So I'm going to draw a little sketch like this to remind myself of the orientation. The vertex is going to be located at the origin. We do know that 4p is equal to 4, and therefore p is equal to 1 in this problem. So let's go to our graph and plot our vertex. The distance, or value of p, will be the distance from the vertex to the focus, let's write it that way, and 1 will also be the distance from the vertex to the directrix. So we have the line here, x equals -1, as our directrix, and we can see on our graph that at 1, 0 we will have the focus. Now, the lattice rectum is going to be 4 units long because that is in the 4p position, and we're going to split that 4 up into 2 units up and 2 units down from the focus so that we can draw in this curve now. Whoops, should be going through that point. The endpoints of the lattice rectum are 1, 2 and 1, -2. And the last thing we need to identify here is the axis of symmetry, which is the x-axis, also known as y equals 0. In this next problem, we're going to have some fractions. We can see first off that this is an x squared parabola, which tells us it opens up or down. Since there's a 1 understood to be in front of the parentheses on the right hand side, we know that it's going to open up rather than down because 1 is a positive number. So I'm going to draw a quick sketch of the orientation here. The parabola, my taco shell with a bean inside sitting on the table, so to speak. We can see that the vertex is going to be located at -2, +7/4. And you can also see that I have enlarged the scale here on the graph. So we will go 2 units to the left and 7/4 up, which is 1 3/4 units up to find the vertex. The value of p is 1/4. Since 4p is equal to 1, p is equal to 1/4. And in our little sketch we have drawn here, we're going to be going up 1/4 to the focus and down 1/4 to the axis of symmetry. If we go up 1/4, we're at the nice neat lattice point, -2, 2, which I will write down here. -2, 2 is the vertex. If we go down half a unit, we get to y equals 1.5, which is the directrix. I will write that as y equals 3/2 and write the word directrix right down beside it. The lattice rectum is going to be 1 unit long, and so we're going to split that 1 unit up, a half to the left and half to the right of the focus, and so those endpoints of the lattice rectum will be at -3/2, 2 and -5/2, 2. And we have everything we need here through which to draw our curve. And the last thing we need is the axis of symmetry, and that axis of symmetry, AOS for short, will be x equals, because it's a vertical line, x equals -2.